This topic is pretty complex, and understanding it is similar to solving a puzzle from drastically different pieces, but I'm here to try. First of all, I wanna note that I'm gonna talk about Sol MMR because it is actually relevant. Once MMR represents the amount of positive impact the person does in the game on average. Basically, this means you are free to play whatever hero you want, in a way you want at any rating, but if you intend to climb, you have to make a good, solid impact in the game with that offlane bell if you're a Crystal Maiden. Impact is a highly collective word to use, so I want to break it down into smaller pieces for easier understanding. There are impactful decisions on different scales. For instance, micro tricks, teamfight execution, knowing how to play matchup. This is basically your mechanics. Rotations, farming routes, map awareness, wards, this is your game sense. These pieces emerge from your experience and establish your skill as a player. But there is another factor, what hero to pick and how to play it. Draft is a very important part of a game, even a pub game. I would say this is some kind of common sense, or in other words, game state awareness, game stateness. I coined this word. For a solo pub game, your job is just not to be completely retarded, which is apparently pretty hard to do, so pick a good decent hero and go for a win. So MMR represents how influential a person is in a pub game, how big of a threat he is in a pub game, how hard would it be to play against him in a pub game. Here's my representation of influence. For example, this is a 3k player. He has all those pieces pretty decent to be a 3k player, but not enough to be a 7k player. Their zones are enormously different in size. These cylinders are basically their skill, which is represented by MMR as a number. Some heroes naturally may have a higher impact due to their mechanics or features depending on current state of a game in a broad sense. Meepa is a good example. This hero is completely insane in the right hands. Meepa has arguably the highest skill ceiling in the game, and you have a real opportunity to be as impactful, as influential as your whole entire team combined. This is the reason why players at 6k bracket and higher play this hero quite frequently, because they get matched with drastically lower players. They have to basically fill the missing amount of impact by themselves. Otherwise, they do lose a game and their MMR decreases and they are not 7k anymore, right? This doesn't mean you pick the hero and you get free MMR. You'll be playing at the bracket you deserve as a player. Some heroes can't be as influential as a player wants. Support Crystal Maiden is a good example in my eyes. No matter how you play, you just cannot be as influential as TA or Razor, for example. 7k player just won't be able to utilize his skill at full power because the hero restricts him to do so. Naturally, the hero pool for them is very limited at this bracket, but this shouldn't be bothering anyone who is lower than 5.2k MMR, I guess, because this is pretty much the time you start getting teammates who are lower in rank and you have to fill that void and impact they can't. But the metagame is something that does not require a patch. It will continue to evolve as the time passes and players find a new way